I met my wife at a Braves game in Atlanta when it was raining. One of those long rain delays where they roll the tarp over the infield and half the stadium just leaves. I was there with some friends, she was there with hers, and our friends happened to know each other. So we ended up crammed under this metal overhang for a couple hours, waiting out the rain, laughing. And I remember just thinking, I need to talk to her again. Not, I'm going to marry this person. I just want one more conversation. Because if I'd turned to her that night, soaking wet, standing under that metal overhang and said, I think we should get married, I'd have gotten shot down 100% instantly, because that's an insane thing to say to someone you just met during a rain delay, no matter how right it feels. And here's why I'm telling you this. I tell this story on coaching calls more than any other story I've got, not because it's romantic, but because almost every creator I talk to who's stuck, who's got the audience, got the content, and just can't get people to actually pay, they're all making the same move. They're proposing on the first date. And I get why. Think about what you're actually asking someone to do when you sell a membership, not a course, specifically a membership. A course has edges. $200. You know what you get. You know when it's over. If it's bad, you're out a little bit of money. And the risk has a bottom to it. But a membership doesn't necessarily have that. $30 this month, $30 next month, $30 the month after that, for a long time, for a thing they haven't even fully tried yet. So the question in their gut isn't, is this worth $30? The question their gut is actually answering is, do I trust this person enough to keep paying them every month indefinitely? And that's not a purchase, that is a commitment, and you do not get a commitment out of a stranger. So let me show you the move almost everybody's making. A creator posts a reel. It's a good one. Saves, shares, comments that say, I needed this today. In the bio, there's a link. The link goes to a checkout page, and the checkout page asks somebody who found out you existed 30 seconds ago to type in a credit card number and commit to paying you every single month with no end date. 2 steps, a stranger and a cash register with nothing in between. Would you say yes to that? And honestly, for a while, I was a part of the problem here. Early on, when creators asked me about their sign-up flow, I'd give them the standard marketing answer: reduce friction, make it easy, fewer clicks, fewer fields, get people to check out faster, because that's what you're supposed to do, right? Well, every marketing book on the shelf says something like that, and I watched it backfire. Somebody would find a creator, sign up that same afternoon on pure impulse, and then 2 months later, when the novelty wore off, and that charge was just another line on their credit card statement, they would cancel. Churn would spike, and I'm sitting there going, we made it easier. Why is it getting worse? And it took me embarrassingly long to see it. With a subscription, speed hurts. So here's what I believe now, and it's pretty much the opposite of what I used to tell people. That friction, it's doing a job. It's a filter. The person who discovers you and buys the same day hasn't built any relationship with you. They don't really know what they've said yes to. The friction is the thing that lets trust catch up to the sale. You can't propose on the first date. And the trial, the sign up, the thing every creator puts front and center, that comes last, after the courtship, after the dating. Let me show you what skipping that dating looks like at the highest possible stakes. There's a wellness creator, one of the biggest names in their entire category, with millions of followers, the kind of name people in the industry would recognize the second you say it. They spent $500,000 on ads, $500,000. And the ads worked. People clicked, traffic showed up, but there was nothing there to catch them. No free guide, no email capture, no sequence, no path at all. From I just heard about this to okay, I'm ready. Just $500,000 of first dates, and every single one of them ended in a proposal with a stranger and a checkout page and this vast empty space in the middle. And the results were basically zero. And the reason I'm telling you this, it wasn't the audience's fault, and it wasn't the brand, it wasn't the content, it wasn't the budget, because they had all of these things. What they didn't have was the middle. When they went back and built it with an email capture, a real email sequence, the dating, the same audience, the same content, the same brand, everything changed. That structure in the middle was the missing piece. And it almost always is. So, what does that dating actually look like? And I'll keep this simple because the magic isn't in how many steps there are, it's just in this one idea. Every step has exactly one job, and that job is to earn the next step. Your free content, the reel, the YouTube video, the podcast, that is the first date. Its only job is to make somebody think, she's interesting, he's interesting, and come back tomorrow. You're not selling, you're getting a second date. The second date is where you start to move off of that rented land, off Instagram, off YouTube, where the algorithm decides whether you own the followers you own even see you. You offer something genuinely good enough that a person will trade their email address for it. And now you can reach them directly whenever you want without asking permission. Then a few emails, not a blast, a sequence. You name the problem that they're actually living with so precisely that they stop and think, how did they know that? You show them somebody just like them who came out the other side, and then, only then, you make that invitation to the trial. And by the time you finally ask, they're not a stranger. The proposal doesn't land as a shock, it lands as a relief. I know a creator with 20,000 followers making six figures. 20,000 followers, which is not a lot, but she built the second date and the third and the fourth. And I've watched people with 1 million followers make almost nothing because the only thing they ever built was the first date. So here's the one thing I want you to do this week. Just one. Go look at your own funnel. Start where a total stranger finds you, whether that's a reel, a video, a podcast, wherever, and count the steps between there and your checkout page. Just count them. If the answer is 2, them in a cash register, maybe you found your reason. Maybe you're proposing on the first date. I didn't propose at that Braves game. I earned the next conversation. And then the one after that. 100 small moments where I showed up and she decided to keep showing up too. 4 kids, 2 dogs, and a couple decades later, because I didn't skip the steps. And neither should you. If this is landing, if you're sitting there realizing the gap in your business isn't more content, it's the middle. That's most of what I dig into in my newsletter, The Growth Memo. One piece of the system at a time, pulled straight from real creators building exactly this. If you want it, you can grab it at the link in the description below. I would genuinely love to have you there. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.